Hey Rockstar, Steve aka Void here, and I want to welcome you to this week's Pajama Jam. I'm very excited about this week's Pajama Jam because I'm going to be playing one of my favorite intros, which is Crazy on You by Heart. And this is going to be a cool one because this is going to be a slightly different thing. Pajama Jams are typically songs that I'm learning from scratch, and so there's solos that I haven't played before or riffs that I haven't played, and I'm learning it from scratch in 30 minutes or less. And so far it's been a blast. I've learned so many cool tunes, and it's been very, very fun, especially chatting with you and hearing also about what you're working on and helping you out to get over the obstacles there. Today's a little bit different because today I'm actually going to be relearning a riff, and I'm going to be actually polishing a riff that I already know but haven't played in a very long time. And so there's some things that come up with that, and it's a cool opportunity to share some of the things that come up when you're relearning a part or when you're polishing a part. So before I get to that, welcome, say hi, let me know where you're from. I am definitely it's been a long day, and I didn't even know if this Pajama Jam would happen. I was supposed to actually be in the studio recording, but that got pushed last minute to next week, which is totally cool, and excited because I get to hang out with you. So if this is your first Pajama Jam, basically Pajama Jams it was a concept where I thought, okay, well, I'm going to be practicing. I'm going to be practicing my guitar, and I have all this camera equipment and stuff like that, and I think kind of like I see this all the time, and I broadcast things all the time, and I thought, why not just broadcast my practice session, and that way I could talk about all the things that I'm working on. And it's late at night, so I'm wearing my pajamas, and I'm doing it in a comfortable fashion, and with some really cool people, and I get to just hang out with you and talk about guitar, and also challenge myself to learn something, because being put on the spot and pressing the record button definitely makes it that much more nerve-wracking. So if this is your first Pajama Jam, welcome. What I do is I learn something or relearn something, and I talk about the strategies I'm using so that you can use those same strategies in your playing, whether it's with Crazy on You or with something else. It doesn't have to be with Crazy on You. And then if you're an intermediate player, then what you can do is you can actually learn some of the things that I'm doing. Like, you can get the tab for Crazy on You, and you can follow along. Today might be a bit of a shorter session because I'm going to be relearning something, but I want to talk about some of the pitfalls that come from relearning something that you've played before. So I see Ken is here and Johnny's here. Great to see you guys. Awesome. So basically with Crazy on You, this song, if you haven't heard it before, definitely check it out. It's a very cool song. But the acoustic intro is like a signature. It's an iconic part. And what I did was I played it. So what I'll do, I'll play it here. And some of the parts I'll probably mess up because, it's been a little while. But I'll play it first and then I'll talk about it. So it goes like this. It goes, and so it's a little bit rusty. Remember that. So that part I always hated. So I have to work that out tonight. And then it goes like, I used to have this part. I know the parts that I'm supposed to play, or close to the parts that I need to play, but it's just not all working smoothly. So then it goes, this part's not bad, but still, that part's not bad either. But again, it's still not glued together, so that's what I'm hoping to do in this session here. Like that. So not bad, not horrible by any means, but just not connected. And also, when I listened to the record recently, I heard that there's parts that it's so funny. It's like when you practice, sometimes you hear what is supposed to be played and you play something else that's kind of close, and that's totally cool. But sometimes you listen and you think what you're playing is what's on the record, and then you go back a couple of months later, a couple of years later, and you listen again and you're like, whoa, wait a second, that's not how it goes. There's something that I missed. And maybe it's just within the haze of, practicing and being in the zone and just really trying to play the song. Sometimes you miss those things because you kind of be in a bit of like a bubble and you don't really hear things clearly. So what I'm hoping to correct now is that exact thing. I heard the track and there's some things that I heard that weren't there before. So for example, so this here, I know that part I've always just hated. I have to iron that out tonight. And then instead of going like this, like that, where I kind of made that happen with a pull off and a hammer on and stuff, like that. Instead of that, what I'm going to do is what I'm supposed to play is this. So there's this part that's matching up. So it's supposed to go like this. What I played was this. It's similar, like enough to speed, it's kind of impressive. If I played that for someone, like that, they'd probably be like, oh yeah, that's crazy on you. But it actually isn't. I just kind of played a little fancy thing. One of my friends, Wayne, says the frilly bits. I played some of those frilly bits, just different kinds of frilly bits, instead of what it should be, which is. So I'll fix that tonight too. What's the other change that I have to make? All the licks are fine. I just have to get that faster. And then at the end, it's supposed to go like this. Which I was going like this. It's just a different ending. So for some reason, I don't know why, but I have to fix that. And then at the end, I go like this. And then I heard there was actually one extra note in there, so it goes like this. It goes. Yeah. Just subtle differences. There's some subtle things. Anyway, I've got like 4 or 5 things on my list that I need to get done. So let's put the clock on and let's get started because so I've got about, let's say, 30 minutes there. This is and I'll actually talk about it for one more quick minute here because, hey Greg, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. Because basically when you're relearning something, it's actually sometimes way harder to do than when you're learning it from scratch because there's bad habits that are built in there or there's just muscle memory that just really keeps creeping in. So I'm probably going to be battling against that. So reprogramming that, you just have to take our 3 times without making a mistake, stick to the basics, 3 times without making a mistake before moving on, and if I make 2 mistakes, then go back. What does that mean? Simplify or slow down or play less parts. So that's kind of what the task is tonight. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch cameras here to the guitar cam, and I'm going to just get started because I'm going to actually start, since this part here what is kind of like the main part, it happens over and over and over and over, and since I got that part technically wrong, I'm going to work that part out. So this is what I did. I went like that, and hopefully that's the last time that I play that and it doesn't creep in, but it's supposed to go like this. And I'm gonna just keep this on the full screen over here. Normally I look at a tab and have that on the screen. If you want to see a tab, then I could do that. It just means that the guitar is way smaller. So I'm probably gonna keep it on this here, so you can see some of the practice habits with this full screen. So here. So I'm gonna just play that and get comfortable with it. that my middle finger is getting jammed up. That feels better. So 3 times without making a mistake. Moving on, I'm going to add this open string here. Cool. 3 times without making a mistake, then moving on. I'm actually going to do it a few more times. See, I played it once, correct. I made a mistake, so that resets the clock. Then I do once correct, twice correct, 3 times correct. So 3 times correct without moving on. 3 times without making a mistake. 3 times without making a mistake before moving on. So. Okay, now I'm going to play the part before that. So I'm isolating the section that needs work, and now I'm going to play the part before it. And also, this part normally has like a bit of a palm mute. I'm going to take that away as well. I'm going to simplify what I'm doing here. Looking down at my fretting hand, not forgetting to do that. 3 times without making a mistake before moving on. So now what I could do, moving on, I could probably do the palm muting. Yeah, I mean I could have moved on after 3, but I just wanted to kind of really get that locked in there. So now I'm going to see what happens if I move forward. What I'm hoping for is that that takes up the new muscle memory, that the old way doesn't come creeping back, but it might, because that's what I did for so long. So see, my brain wants to do the old way, so that's a mistake. I'll stop there. Cool. See what I'm doing here? I'm taking little chunks and I'm going 3 times without making a mistake, then moving forward. And then if I make a mistake, then I go again. If I make 2 mistakes in a row, then I go backwards. So I'm also very aware of the mistakes, letting the mistakes kind of dictate what my practice session is going to be, because I did too much that time where I went way too far. I went there and I stopped, right? And that was a problem because, well, it was a good thing because I did just too much and I knew that that was too much, so the mistake told me that was too much. But here what I'm doing enough where I could play it a bit faster and I can play a definitive part, but it's short. Okay, so the short part allows for me to play faster. Also, it allows for me to play some of the details like that palm mute. I'm going to go a little bit forward because I played 3 times without making a mistake. So see, it's starting to like come together now. Okay, next is I'm going to leave that for a sec because all of them, this little package here, this happens all throughout the intro. And then it's something else. And then it goes into the licks. So the licks, this one, the second one I think is fine. Yeah, that part's fine. Super cool part. So that part I'm okay with. I don't even need to work on that. That part, that's the third lick, I don't need to work on that either. So this first lick is the one where it was a little bit tricky. It's this first part here. I'm just going to isolate it. Yeah, because the second half, No, whoops. See, I made 2 mistakes, so I'm going to go slower. Yeah, so I think this is like I've isolated the part. Really look at what parts you're practicing, because if you're playing something that you don't need to practice, you're wasting your time, right? So like if I was practicing the whole thing, if I added that in there, then I'd be wasting my time. The real problem is this one. Let me just try another fingering for a sec. Yeah, this is good. Keep missing that middle finger. Cool. Okay. Really testing my limits here. Yeah. Okay. So now, I'm going to make a connection between the previous part I just played, where I went with this new intro, and have this lead into the first lick. So I'm just like breaking the parts down, isolating the parts that I need to work on, and then building them back up. That's what practice is. You break it all down to the simplicity, look at the problem areas, isolate those, and then just build up the part right after it, build up the part before it, just like build all around it and then speed it up. This practice is really just that. So I'm going to slow it down because I'm taking on more. I'm increasing the challenge, so I'm going to decrease the speed. Okay, that's cool. I actually did too much there. I'm supposed to just do the one part of this. That I want to isolate it. I played too far before the test. Like, this is the test here. If I could connect this, lick. Whoops. Yeah, if I could connect that lick to the first part, which is, and if I start way at the beginning, I'm waiting too long before the experiment takes place, and there's so many things that could go wrong. So I'm going to stay as close to it as possible, which sounds like this. Like that. So just like that, that's the experiment. So. Mistake, so let's try again. Another mistake. Slow it down. Collect my thoughts. Take a deep breath. Fingers are tense. Yeah, 3 times without making a mistake. You guys see how, like, the process here? It's very predictable. It's kind of boring, and if you think about, like, that it's not introducing anything new. It's just applying the same tools to the same to different situations. You know, that's really all I'm doing here, and I really just do this over and over and over and broadcast this so that you can be exposed to this so many times where it's obvious to you, where you don't have to guess. That's the thing. I want to basically put myself out of a job because I want you to be able to self-coach and be able to know what tool comes next, you know, what strategy you need to use next. Okay, so now what I can do is I can play slowly and see if I can get a lot of ground covered. Hey Dan, how's it going, dude? So So now I'm going to collect my thoughts, and also I'm crossing my legs. Sometimes I do that to hoist the acoustic up, but I'm noticing that's creating a little bit of tension. I'm not feeling like I'm very grounded over here, so I'm going to put my foot on a little, like the little part of my chair, and see if that fixes anything. Actually feels a little bit more uncomfortable. Okay, and I made a mistake there because I'm thinking too far ahead. I'm thinking that I have 18 minutes left. I'm thinking about the intro that stressed me out, this like first little lick, all that stuff. So let's just, I gotta come back to earth over here. Okay, so here. Okay, cool. I actually did two fixes there. Number one, what I did was I fixed. I'm actually pretty happy. The little lick, I've kind of reprogrammed that through doing it slowly and doing it 3 times without making a mistake, and chunking it with all these other parts. So that is cool. I'm happy about that. That's one thing I noticed. The muscle memory is starting to turn over. But then also I fixed this part. I used to go like this, but now at the end I'm going like that. So definitely I'm feeling that, like I'm making some of those corrections. So far I have the lick, number 1, that's fixed. The main sort of, the little lick, that's fixed. 3, I've fixed this E major. This ending, I'll get through that quick. That's what I did before. Now I gotta add an extra note there. Yeah, it's not gonna be hard. All I'm doing, this is just subtle. This is more for me. I'm making sure that I'm getting that in there. No one would call me on this. For anyone who catches it, this is what I used to do. It's just one less note. It's just a fast note, but yeah. So anyway, that's just a quick little thing there. Let's see if I can get to that. No intro early, first lick, but first this here. Mistake, because you know why? Because I made a mistake because I thought, oh man, that sounds cool. Like I reacted to me playing it, which is not a good thing. Like I've just got to kind of be the player and not react or get thrown off my game. So you can get thrown off by like what we might be used to, which is being frustrated and being kind of like pissed that, I didn't get it. But sometimes you can actually get thrown off your game by succeeding and thinking, oh man, that sounded good, and then you get thrown off. So be careful out there. Stay in the zone, stay focused, stay in the flow. So, again, it happened again. Okay, just gonna review. See, I'm letting my mistakes tell me what to do next, right? I am very happy though with how this sounds. I'm happy with how that lick is taken over. So it's kind of like jumping in my mind a bit, and I'm kind of trying to push it out, and all that extra dialogue that's happening is actually screwing me up. So, has anybody ever done that before, where you make a mistake because things are going too well? Let me know in the comment box. Such a ridiculous thing. It's like fear of failure or fear of success. Like you think like, oh man, like things are going awesome. Like maybe I'm going to make a mistake because things are going too well. So let's see here. So the licks, yeah. Okay, let's do it again. Just a little bit slower here. 99%. I was supposed to have a note hanging there. I was supposed to go. Just a slight little difference, but that's not bad. Okay, 13 minutes to get and confront this beast of a part that I don't know what it is about it. I just don't like. So let's see what happens here. All right. Let's see. So this is what it's supposed to sound like. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to investigate. I want to see what is causing the problem. So I'm going to investigate to see where my stress meter goes to 10. Like which specific part is where my stress meter goes to 10, because it might not be the whole thing. That's no problem right there. So I'm not even going to get into that right there. It might be going from here to here. So let's see. Let's zoom in. So this, no. That part's fine. But when I go, it's like a sequenced pull off. That's fine. So that part's okay, and then this, that part's fine. So it's really the connection then. I'm going to just focus on just this part here and do it slowly here. What's another good indicator is when you're playing slow, if your stress meter shoots to 10, then that's an indication that something's really going wrong, and you have to investigate whether it's using different fingers or how you're holding the guitar, what you're thinking about. Because if you're playing slowly, your stress meter shouldn't go to 10, and if it does, then you have to isolate that part and figure out why it's broken. Here what I'm doing, I'm actually experimenting a little bit with not playing both strings at once to see if I can kind of build up to that last the end result. So it's supposed to be like that, 2 notes, but I'm actually going to just play this note here. Now I'm going to play the middle finger note. I think the culprit is my middle finger when I'm finger picking. I think it's like getting locked up and tensing. So what I'm doing is, after I practice that a few times looking at the fretting hand, I'm going to look at my picking hand, my fingers. So yeah, and isolate. Yeah, it's that double shot. See? It's that double shot on the middle finger that's screwing me up. See, one little piece, never underestimate it. One little move or one little piece or one little thought could be the thing that just throws the whole operation, astray. It seriously, like that one little thing there, I just noticed that my middle finger doing that double shot is actually screwing me up. It's creating tension, and that tension is throwing me off. Haha. And once I figure it out, now already the riff is sounding better. It's not even about sitting there for hours and working out the part. It's actually a lot about just calling out, spotting the thing that's the problem, just being aware of what's the problem. Sometimes it'll just fix itself because you're aware of it. So knowing that my middle finger is just a double shot, I'm not thinking about the whole thing being like, oh man, this intro is so hard, and like kind of making it a big thing. If I know it's just a double shot on the middle finger, I could kind of relax a little bit. I could kind of like de-stress a bit and know that there's not going to be a big job. It's not going to stress me out even more knowing that I have to work out this part I don't like. It's like, oh, wait a second, it's doing a double shot. See, when I do that double shot with the middle finger, it's already better. Almost just now that I know that it's only that, it's diminished the sort of the intensity of it, and now I just kind of do it. So let's see if that really helps. Yeah, it's way faster now. Oh man, I'm really happy about that. Very, very happy about that. So let's see what happens. Yeah, and then I'm just going to connect those two. So I'm going to slow it down. I've got about 7 minutes and change. I'm going to make that shot count with a little snap. It's like a little crack there. Yeah, so it's the best it's ever felt. I've never been able to do this, so I'm really happy about that. It's not fully consistent yet, so I can't get too far ahead of myself. Now I can look here and pay attention to details like how close I am to the fret. Kind of lighten my my touch. Yeah. See, I'm getting little mistakes are creeping in, so I've got to like kind of get back to center here. Because I have one part that I have reprogrammed, like one part I relearned, and then I have another part I relearned, and like in isolation they could be good, but then when I put them back together, all the flaws start to expose themselves. So I can't be too confident yet that each part is working really well. I have to keep with the same level of awareness and focus on each part. So I slow it down. And 3 times without making a mistake. Yeah, so see, 3 times without making a mistake. Now I'm going to go a bit faster. So see, you decide each time what the 3 times without making a mistake moving on, what the moving on is. Sometimes I might be adding more, sometimes it's going faster, sometimes it's making the part a little bit more complex. Yeah, I decide each time to kind of what I feel it is. If you need any help with this, just reach out and let me know. But that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm just going a little bit faster. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. So. Yeah. Okay, so let's give this a shot. We've got about 5 minutes left. I'm gonna have a quick drink of water. Is this helpful, guys? Let me know. Is this helpful? Seeing how different mistakes pop up and how I'm working myself out of obstacles, or how I'm reprogrammed something from before, and how that thing from before is coming back, and I have to kind of, no, stay out. I've got to like reprogram the parts because they're kind of creeping back in the muscle memory. Let me know, is this stuff helpful? Do you like this? Is there something that you're getting out of it? I'm very happy about the that intro little lick there that I. Yeah, that was a cool discovery there. Just really zeroing in and noticing that middle finger just has to go twice. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. So I'm going to go a bit slower before I do the final. Okay, one thing I wanted to say, I just couldn't wait to tell you guys. I was trying to talk over the part, but it was just too much. There's no way that I would do it. What I wanted to say was that my mind, when I'm playing this stuff, I'm always thinking just a few notes ahead, not too far ahead, just a few notes ahead, and not thinking exactly on the note that I'm on, just thinking just a little bit ahead, and that's what allows for me to know what lick's coming up and just what part, just kind of keeping it on track, kind of like looking, looking through the windshield. You're driving, looking through the windshield, not looking right ahead of where the hood is, just, looking, 20 feet down the road, just knowing what's coming up next. Okay, very important, anticipation. All right, let's see what happens here. Review. Yeah, as soon as I review it, it's already way better. Ah, so close. So close. And on this one here, I'm kind of going for, like, I could have played through, but in this, I'm going for the one. Like, I'm going for that thing. So let's do it again. Just kind of roll my shoulders a little bit here. All right. Get a little crack there. I'm gonna get this. I feel good about it, and it's okay if I get it in a minute here. If I don't, then it's all good. But let's just see what happens here. Ah, okay. That's okay. I'm totally fine with that. I felt like I was in the zone and then I got out of it for whatever reason. Let's do it again. Let's see if third time's a charm. Yeah, this swivel chair isn't like the best guitar chair. Sitting back, I don't know. It's not the ideal scenario, but it's okay. I guess with maybe a strap would be a little bit better. Let's see what happens here. that's I'm happy that I worked that part out there. Yeah, I'm very happy. That's the little celebration part there. When you have a part, guys, where I don't know. By the way, I don't know when the clock ran out. It's probably like I don't think it was at the buzzer. It was probably just after. But what you have to remember, guys, is that when you're practicing, there's parts that are being played that they really the littlest thing could trip you up. Like I actually didn't know when I made the mistake the second time. So there would be like 3 rounds, right? The last one that I did, third time's a charm, I guess. The part right before it, I was actually in the zone. I felt really good. And then I was thinking about posting the video, or I was thinking about, oh, no way, Martin, what? How's it going, buddy? Sorry for the little tangent there. Awesome, bud. You popped in my head the other day. Awesome. Send me a message. It'd be great to catch up. Yeah, so the second time I played, I was thinking about posting the video and all these things that I had to do too far in advance. Like I said, when you're driving the car, just look 10, 20 feet out, and 20 feet is probably good, and just looking out, but not way too far and not way too close. Not looking at the note that I'm on, not looking at the note that's way in advance, or thinking way in advance, like, hey, when I've done this broadcast here and I'm going to post the video, that's way too far in advance. I've got a couple of licks to play still. I still have stuff to do. So it's like, don't get so far ahead. And then I made a mistake because my head wasn't in the game, right? When my head's in the game, I'm anticipating what's coming up a few steps ahead, like chess or checkers, right? And it's like not so far ahead, thinking that I'm going to win the chess, I'm going to win this tournament, and like when I'm playing a certain game and thinking like so far ahead, hoisting the the trophy. That's just when you're in game, when it's game time. You can't think like that. You just have to be in the headspace where you are anticipating the next part that's coming up and everything's under control. It's like a really calm confidence. And I felt that on the third time. So also the middle finger thing, where I hated that riff there, that little lick, and I realized that it was something that was like I investigated. I looked at the first part, and it was like that wasn't a problem. That first part wasn't a problem, and then that part wasn't a problem. It was connecting the two, and I realized I isolated it down to the middle finger needed to do a double shot, and as soon as I knew that, as soon as I kind of discovered that, everything was way better than it ever was. Because what happens is when you have struggle, like when you struggle with a part, when your stress meter goes to 10, what happens is you start to look at a part, you start to dislike it, or start to fear it, or you start to stress out about it, because like it's kind of the whole thing. You can't play that whole thing. And so it makes it a big deal in your mind. But then when you look at, oh, well, it's just this little part that actually I can't play, this little tiny part, once you diminish it down to that little thing there, instantly it's like a huge weight off of your shoulders. And what happens is it just kind of like starts to get easier, just because you've brought the thought down, like the stress level down, like, oh, it's just the middle finger. And then anyway, so then it just, the results speak for themselves. Like that was crazy. That was actually a surprise. I didn't even kind of think of it that way until it happened. That middle finger shot there was all it was just one little move, and it screwed the whole thing up, and also screwed up my attitude towards it. So anyway, so that was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that. This is one of my favorite riffs, so it was very cool to be able to play that and play it like the record. I really actually, I didn't like this part originally. I really liked what I did before, which I'm not going to do anymore. I don't want to mess up with it's too fresh. If I start playing the old way, then it might mess with the muscle memory. But actually, as I was playing it, I really like this new way a lot better. I mean, it's accurate to the record, and also I just like how it feels. I didn't think that I would. So, hey, go figure. That's kind of it's kind of what comes with the territory of improving. So I want to review a little bit of what happened. I had this riff, Crazy on You. I was able to play, or at least, I was able to somewhat play before, and it was cool. It was fun. And anytime I played it for someone, they'd be like, "Oh, that's awesome, Crazy on You." But it wasn't accurate. It wasn't like the record, and that's fine, by the way. That's totally fine. I had played like this for like 10 years. Crazy on You, the way that I showed you at the beginning of this session. And if you didn't catch the beginning, watch the beginning so I could show you the differences. And it was fine. It's totally fine to simplify. It's totally fine to replace parts. It's totally fine to do that. Today I just decided I want to, as a challenge, I want to do what's on the record. That's 10 years later. I've been fine with this part for 10 years. So when you guys are approaching songs, or solos or riffs, don't be afraid to change things. And this is how you play it. Instead of doing a bend, you do a slide. Instead of doing a pull off, you do, I don't know, 2 picks, like you pick the notes twice. Like, whatever. Do what you need to do to play music. That's the first thing. And then once you're feeling confident and comfortable with it, then you could switch it over. Or if enough time passes and you're rusty on even the first part, then I took that opportunity because I'm rusty on this, or I was, and I took the opportunity to just go under the hood and start fixing things rather than relearn it the kind of modified way. I'm gonna just relearn it after all these years. I'm gonna relearn it I guess the right way, the record, the way of the record. So does that make sense, guys? That it's okay to simplify things. Actually, if you work with me and you just started or you've been working with me for a little while. This is what we do all the time. We modify things so you could play music right away. I encourage that. I think it's crucial that you do that rather than struggle with a part and never get music out of it. Okay. So while we're with the remaining time, I'll stay to the top of the hour, but let me know what you think. I'm going to look at the comments over here. Let me know what you think, as well as let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you're working on. I'm very, very... I'm curious to know what you're working on, as well as if you need any help with anything, any questions answered, then I will definitely, with the time that we have here, I'll answer your questions. So let's just scroll through here. Okay, cool. Dan, you're almost over your cold. That's good to hear, buddy. All right, Ken is saying, cool breakdown of the pieces and how they fit together. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed it, Ken. Tony, I need to check my emails more often, so this is every week. Yeah, so Tony, how's it going, buddy, by the way? This is pretty much every week. So far, we've had a good streak going where it's been every Wednesday night, Eastern Standard Time. And next week, I think we're still on for Wednesday. Yeah, it should be typically every Wednesday would be a Pajama Jam. So Ken is saying, love it, awesome, very cool. Greg saying, excellent, I work on too much at one time. I should know by now. Yeah, so definitely little bits, and simplify. We always want to do more. We always become our own worst enemy. We're creating problems that shouldn't be there, and trust me, guys, I do this all the time. So don't feel bad if you do this. I think it's kind of just human nature. We just tend to do this. We feel like we want to get to the finish line faster. And in order to go faster, we want to do more. But that more is actually slowing us down. So by doing less and doing little bits, and then going a little bit before that little bit, and then attaching that little bit, and then going a little bit after that little bit, and now it's a big bit, and then you go to another little bit, that was a mistake, and you just keep building it piece by piece, you actually get to the finish line and cross the finish line a lot faster. All right. And Tony's saying, wow, fingerstyle way too advanced for me. Yeah, right now, it's probably, what I was playing was probably a bit advanced, but that's totally fine. The purpose of this Pajama Jam and this series is just to show you the strategies that I'm trying to put myself in challenging situations so you could see me make a mistake and how I work out of that. Because through that mistake, you could see how you can start responding to your own mistakes and working your way out of those. If I just pretended to make a mistake, it wouldn't be the same thing. So making sure that I can make mistakes and have challenging pieces. That's the purpose here. So if it's too advanced to play the part that I'm playing, totally fine. That's kind of assumed in a way that some of the stuff I'm working on is pretty challenging, but it's so that I could be in a position that I could demonstrate these points here. So then let's see here. Ken, great determination. Thanks, buddy. Awesome. Martin, great to see you're still following your passion for guitar. Yeah, definitely, definitely, dude. Lots to catch up on, Martin. I hope you're well. I don't know if you're still in Toronto, but it'd be great to chat for sure. I worked one-on-one with Martin for a while. A lot of Metallica solos. Martin's a great guy and great guitar player. I hope you're still playing, buddy. So, Dan, I'm working on getting back to my song, and we'll be sending over the next bounce soon. Very cool. Awesome. Looking forward to it. Ken, I play things slowly and just tell myself it's more soulful. Attaboy. Nice. So Ken, yeah, don't be afraid to post inside the group. Play along with a record, and I'll let you know what you need to do next. Definitely, and for anybody who's looking for feedback on your playing on a regular basis, definitely. I have some programs that might help, and just reach out and I can tell you some more about that. And if you need some steady feedback on your stuff. So Ken Palin is saying, I've been working on Tuesdays Gone and playing guitar, lead guitar instead of keyboard. Cool, instead of the keyboard. It would be great to see me demo that. Cool. Yeah, Tuesdays Gone. That's a great song for sure. Yeah, man. Definitely a great song, and curious to know the arrangement that you're doing there, and the love to hear it for sure. Yeah, Ken, send that over, and we could chat also about any of the programs that might take you to that next level as well. That might be what is the next best step here. Let me just double check here. I don't know if anyone saw what the time was. I think the buzzer. I don't think I beat the buzzer, but that's okay. I'm actually really happy with. It was close. It was close enough that I'm happy with it. So, and Greg, hands are almost recovered. Very cool. Good stuff, buddy. Great to hear. Awesome. Anything else you guys want to share with me, or anything else that you want to? If there's any questions that you have. That was a lot of fun. One tip. What I was supposed to say at the beginning was that just in case, if you guys are playing something with fingers, so you're playing finger picking, make sure to tune the guitar with your fingers. So what you don't want to do is play with a pick and tune, and you're tuning and tuning, and then you play with your fingers. Tune the guitar to how you're going to end up playing it. So the amount, the attack level that you're doing. So if you're playing, that hard in the song, that's how you're going to tune the A. Okay, and you're going to tune it with your thumb if you're going to use your thumb on that string. Okay, it might seem like common sense, but definitely, I haven't done this. I had to kind of learn that because every time I'd pick, like I'd tune the guitar and I'd use a pick. When I'd go and finger pick, you're like, oh wow, that's weird. It's a bit out of tune. It doesn't sound the same. So yeah, make sure you're always tuning to how you're playing, how you're going to play with the same attack as well as the same, material, either pick or your fingers. Okay, cool. All right. So I'll stay on for another minute or so if you have any questions or anything like that. Very, very happy. For actually one announcement for any of my guys who are in Play From Day One, which you'll see, let's see if I get it right. Yeah, over here. For any of my guys who are in Play From Day One, I'm currently redesigning the members area. It took a little while to do, but now that I've got it down, I'm actually it's going to move pretty quick, which is cool. So it's a much better platform that I've switched to, and everything looks better. It functions better. You could do a lot more in the actual site, and you actually can there's going to be room for improvement, but the platform allows for upgrades and cool things to happen. So anyway, for any of the Play From Day One guys, this is going to be in the next month, I would say a month or two. It will be fully switched over. Okay, so keep an ear out for that. I'll make some announcements on that. But I'm very excited. Definitely after this broadcast, I'm going to go back and just make sure all the guitar maps are all transferred over and all the cool stuff is looking and working great. So, I see Martin's still in Toronto, but have only been playing air guitar. All right, bud. Well, hopefully, I mean, you had so much stuff, so many things that you were playing on guitar. So we'll have to see if maybe we can get that back on track, because there's definitely, it would be a shame if you stopped playing guitar for good. So anyway, cool. And Greg's saying thumbs up, and can't wait to see you. Awesome, guys. All right. So, well, actually, maybe, you know what? With the last little bit here, let me see. Maybe I can give a little sneak peek. Let me give a little sneak peek. Let me get something good. Yeah, you know what? I'll give a little sneak peek. If you guys want to see like a sneak peek of, I guess, the new, it's still, you know, I'm still working on it, but it's definitely I'll show you the difference between the two. So there's some things that are the same and some things that are different, but I'll show you the two here. So let me switch over. Okay, so this is the old Play From Day One, or I should say the current Play From Day One. So you have all these different guitar maps, and you have I don't know. It's like it's a little clunky. Like this is a platform that is kind of like you put stuff in and it does a lot of things for you, and so there's less control, and I don't really like that. So it's okay, but so you have your videos and stuff, and you have buttons for the next step and all that. It's okay. Like it's not bad at all. But the new one, dun da da dum. What we have is, okay, so every basically what you have here is every guitar map is going to be laid out. So you're going to just see a list of different maps. It's going to tell you what's included in each one, and you're going to be able to resume where you just left off. So for example, you click this, and you're going to go to, let's say you are on like one of the lessons, and you have to leave because whatever reason, it's late or whatever. You close the window. When you come back, you can click resume training. It's just going to go right back to where you left off. So you open the map, and it's just cleaner. You're going to see how many steps you've completed, that it's in progress. You're going to also see what's involved in each map, what you're going to need. If you need to know something from another map, any prerequisites, it's going to be all the different lessons are going to be there, and you're also going to see what you are, you're going to be able to see what you've completed. So for example, I don't know if I put this in here yet, but anyway, so you can see that there's like the checkboxes and stuff, and when you're done a lesson, you are going to see downloads, and you can mark it as complete, and then complete it like that. But then there's other cool things, like if you know the guitar maps, there are these checklists, right? So the checklists, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put they're called playlists, weekly playlists. I'm actually going to put that under the video, so you're actually going to be able to click, and you'll see the step crossed off. So if it says, you know, play this part 3 times, that's one of the tasks that you need to do. You're going to be able to see that task right under the video. You're going to click it. It's going to cross it right off the list, just like you would cross it, like if you printed out the map, you would check that. And so little things like that are going to make it a lot easier to follow along and make it so that you can make the fastest progress without, you know, having to remember exactly where you're at or whatever. You just are spending more time playing, getting stuff done, and not just like watching videos and, you know, trying to remember what you did. So then all the different tools, like we got the Facebook group, and there's going to be different tools that, like the software, so the Play Along Pal will have it in there as well. And yeah, just I'm really excited about this, because it just means that it's gonna be better and cleaner and a better user experience, and that's really all I care about. I just care that you have the optimal user experience possible with this, and that you're getting the most out of the program. So definitely you'll hear more about the updates to Play From Day One for any of my Play From Day One guys. If you're seeing that and you're like, whoa, what is that? And is that something that that's for me? Then definitely feel free to reach out, and I'm very, very happy to. One of the reasons why I have the maps on this platform now is because I'm going to be able to find a map that works for you. So just a little bit of a backstage sort of thing. I'll tell you what's going on behind the scenes is that there's going to be sort of like a bit of an assessment where it's going to kind of see where you're at, and it's going to recommend what map is best for you. So I'm just still, as a new dad, and like all this, like this year's been pretty intense. I've been piecing all this stuff together, but now that it's really taking shape, I'm going to be able to really structure it and offer it in a really cool way with lots of different options, and making sure that you get the most out of it. And for all of the people who are in Play From Day One, if there's anybody who is already in the program, then any bonuses or anything like that I add to in the future, you just will automatically, you'll start seeing that stuff show up. So kind of a perk of getting in early. All right, so that's all I'll show about Play From Day One. I mean, I just wanted to show, because I know we've got some guys here who are in the program, so I wanted to show what is coming up. And Tony is saying, hey Steve, can you make the download printouts with less picture pages in order to save on color ink? That's amazing. Well, what you can do, Tony, if you don't want to print out the whole map, you can just print out only the weekly list, so the watch list and the playlist, so that or even just the playlist, so you have the check boxes. So you don't have to print out the whole thing. But also in the new year, another prospect that's coming up is that I'm probably going to offer the guitar maps as physical products as well. So I could send them to your house, and you'll have them. It'll be like nice paperback sort of quality there. So we'll definitely get to that. All right. So guys, it was an absolute blast hanging out with you as usual. Very, very very stoked that I was able to play that song, Crazy on You, play that riff up to speed in pretty much 30 minutes. And it was really, really cool to talk about my favorite strategies, and this is what I love doing. So so happy that you were able to join me. Thanks for sharing what you're working on, and definitely reach out if you need some help, and I will definitely be there. So have a great night, or wherever you are in the world, great morning, great afternoon, and if you're catching the replay, then yeah, let me know what's going on. Send over a message and let me know what you're working on. All right, everyone, have a great night. We'll talk soon. Take care.